Right. So, Krishan, can we start?
So we can wait for hardly 1 or 2 minutes more.
No problem. We'll wait.
So we can start now.
All right. Thank you, Shashi. Thank you, Krishan. So, good morning, all. I know it's Saturday, it's a weekend, but still, we are all here because we want to do something progressive in life, right? Yes, Mr. Mandar Kulkarni. Okay. So, I would like to start with one small thing. Recently you would have all heard about this Hindi stand-up comedian, right? Zakir, right? So he performed in Madison Square in New York, and he created history. You know why he created history? Not because his show was in Madison Square in New York is a very big place. So he did a all Hindi stand-up comedy show. The whole show was in Hindi, and Zakir obviously you would have seen in YouTube and stuff. So he did a full-blown Hindi stand-up comedy. So the reason why I'm saying this is if your content is original, okay, and if you have fresh ideas, it could be the same thing, but the way we approach and if we have originality in terms of what we try to do, then we can all be successful. So you don't have to know English. You don't have to know, you don't have to be a finance professional for all these years, or you don't have to be working in a bank, or you don't have to be working in any mutual fund companies until now. You can be anyone because end of the day, whether it is a surgeon, doctor, person working in military, we all need financial planning. So we are here to understand what and how financial planning, because it's not anymore that I have a SIP request of 5,000 rupees to make, or I have 5 lakh rupees where to put that money, etc. It's not that. It's much beyond that now. The market is evolving, so we need to understand how to align ourselves to the growing needs of the marketplace, right? So as long as you have this originality, you can be successful, which is why I gave that example. So without wasting much of a time, so we'll get into what we are here to talk about, right? So as I said, financial planning is a very holistic approach. Because what is holistic approach? Because it contains a lot of things. It contains goal planning, it contains retirement planning for marriage, education, vacation, and you have to understand what is the risk profile of your client and stuff like that. That is when you can bring your own originality. You know why? There is about 1.7 lakh MFDs which are there in the marketplace. Okay, so if you are someone who is trying to be on your own, or even if you're working somewhere, you need to understand that the market demands are growing every day. The clients or the investors are also becoming more and more knowledgeable. We need to bring that sense of originality, the sense of what differentiation, what value add that you can do as a finance professional. So that's very essential, right? So if you look at, because traditionally we know that we always, whenever we talk about financial planning, we say that, okay, sir, how much should I invest in this fund? How much should I invest in this fund? Or should I invest in this fund or not? So it is now much beyond that. It is slowly evolving, but very steadily evolving. You know why? Because the SIP book size is in excess of 25,000 crores a month, right? And the market AUM, which is called asset under management of mutual funds, is very soon going to be 1 lakh crores. These are mind-boggling statistics, right? So it's not anymore restricted to just take your phone and invest into an app, invest into a mutual fund. It's much beyond. So we have to understand that what are these basics of financial planning. So when you sit with someone, you should be able to address every single rupee that is coming into their system and every single rupee that is going out of their system. So you need to understand what is their net worth. Net worth is nothing but their assets which they own, the liabilities which is the loan. So when you sit with someone, you should be in a position to understand what kind of loans they have, whether they are high interest loans, whether they are low interest loans, whether it adds value to their life through the existing system. So it has to be a comprehensive understanding in terms of net worth, in terms of tax. Why tax is in part of financial planning? Because any single money that is going out of your pocket is to be considered as part of your financial planning. You all pay taxes, we all pay taxes. No one can escape taxes, right? So tax is a very critical element of, you need to be able to understand what is the right product to invest to optimize the taxes. You have to understand what is capital gains. You have to understand what is equity based capital gains, what is debt based capital gains, what is the capital gains on conservative hybrid funds, what is the capital gains of exchange traded funds, ETF, which is the new sensation, what is the taxation on REIT, real estate investment trust. So the market is evolving, so you cannot stay behind. So if at all you have to talk to someone, even if you're employed somewhere, or you, let's say you're going and sitting in for an interview, okay, after doing CFP, for example. So you should be in a position to demonstrate your understanding of what are you trying to communicate. That is very critical. So tax, insurance again, why insurance is a part of here? Because if I fall sick and something happens to me, if we all hope that nothing happens, but if something happens, and just because of one hospitalization, if I have to spend 3 lakhs or 5 lakhs, that goes away from my money. That's the money going out of my pocket. So if I could have had proper insurance planning in terms of a health cover, in terms of a term cover, then that is also something which is a part of your financial plan. And then finally is estate, like people at different stages of life, because you never know who is your client. Someone who is at 65 could approach and say that I would like to make sure that my assets are given to my next generation in a proper manner. That is financial planning. Okay, so although we might be coordinating with the lawyers or whoever is the experts in terms of a legal angle, but we should understand the basics of it, right? So this is where the value addition you bring as a financial advisor in today's market situation, where you need to understand that every money going out of your pocket and every money that is coming in has to be treated with a value. Once we are able to talk wholesome, how much the client is asking, we are going to offer the services to that level. But we should be able to demonstrate our ability to be able to address all these aspects, which is what is going to make you unique, which is what is going to make you that Zakir who can give an all Hindi stand-up comedy show in Madison. That is where you are going to be unique in that big crowd. All of us can be unique. All of us are already unique. The thing is, we need to realize what is our uniqueness. So that is what is the important thing that you have to capture here. So I have put this slide as phases of financial planning, which addresses how do you approach clients of different age groups that come to you. Because not all age group of the clients is going to be the same. What is accumulation? Accumulation is when someone has just entered the job, he or she is in their mid-20s and they want to start some SIP. So accumulation goes starting as early of your first job and it runs till the end, because you're just going to keep on accumulating. But your level of risk taking is higher for a client who is in that accumulation phase. What is consolidation? So I began SIP at, let's say, 25 and I reach 45. Then I have to slowly start to consolidate. I have an asset base. I have to slowly start to consolidate in a manner that I move them to a lower risk asset class and I'm making a better utilization of that money. So when you see a client in a particular age group, you should be able to identify between these 4 pieces of financial planning that which phase are they in. Creating cash flow is what? You have a cash flow, you have a corpus, and then you are going to be able to create that SWP, which is systematic withdrawal plan out of the corpus. Okay, someone comes to you, he's 58. He says that, sir, I don't need any more capital growth. I need capital preservation. I have to be able to pay myself because I'm retiring. There is not going to be any more salary. I have a corpus from my EPF or NPS. I have my accumulation, which I had done. I have some 2 or 3 crore rupees. How to make sure that this 2 or 3 crore rupees is able to sustain me until the end of my life? What should I consider for inflation? What should I consider for my medical reserves? What should I consider for the gifts or whatever that I want to give to my people, my own kith and kin after my lifetime? How to do that planning? That is creating cash flow, right? So you are just not making people invest. Investing or SIP is like watering a plant, and SWP is enjoying the fruits from a tree or anything. It's like enjoying the benefits of your efforts. So as long as and when you see the client, you should be able to identify. And wealth transfer, as I said, is the last stage when people want to give away their assets. Everyone wants that feeling of this a proud moment, right? Like in terms of, okay, I have been able to give this to my son, daughter, grandson. So as and when you are able to see a client, that is where you will create that uniqueness. That is where you are going to be different and many others that is in the marketplace. You can be a specialist in any of these four. Please trust me. And your bulb or that idea bulb has to glow as and when you see the client in which phase of financial planning he or she is in. Obviously, you will have some exceptions. People retire at 37, people retire at 40. They could be in between the consolidation and creating cash flow, but they will fit whatever is their age, whatever is their gender, whatever is their city they are from. They will fit into these four parameters that we are talking about. So you should be able to understand what are they. You should be able to relate to them. You should be able to communicate that to your clients. And that is where you are going to create that uniqueness about yourself. Because the market is becoming very crowded. So everyone is talking, put SIP, there is sensational finfluencers who are there, put 500 rupees every month and become a crorepati. He will not say that whether it has to be put for 40 years or 50 years. He will just have to say in that 30 seconds ka reel that you put 500 rupees a month and become a crorepati. Don't know. So it could be even an advertisement for term insurance that you will not become a crorepati, your family will become a crorepati if something happens to you. No, it's just a joke. But what are the cornerstones of financial planning? Now, what is the definition of a cornerstone? Cornerstone is something which is very critical, which is very important in a figurative sense, not a literal sense. In literal sense, it has its own meaning, but in a figurative sense, what does this cornerstone mean? It is like important components, ingredients. We make a dish, dal or sambar or whatever. We put certain things into that, right? So you need all of them to make a good sambar. You need all of them to make a good dal, right? So you need all of this to make a good financial plan. So please understand the components. Please understand these cornerstones, which will again help you to stand unique, which will again help you to be able to communicate in a better manner. And keep communication very simple, because I'm telling you, clients are not going to be interested in very complicated jargons. They're very tired of it because they're already reading too much and they're already speaking to too many people. There is a lot of information. How well we can filter that information, how well we can simplify the whole thing will make you different. That is why, again, the Zakir example, you don't have to be a fancy English speaking guy to give a program in Madison Square in New York. He was just not giving in some Mumbai ka theater. He was giving in Madison Square in New York. So that is originality. That is the strength of your content. That is the strength of how different you are from others. What is the SMART goal? Is again specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. A lot of people that we see in daily lives, they are not in a position to define their SMART goals. Trust me on this. 8 out of 10 people will not be able to define their goals. You have to make them understand. You have to ask the right questions. You have to give them that feeling that It is their own goal, which is obviously is their own goal, but you are helping them define it. That is when they will build, that is when they will get that confidence and the trust about you as a person. And risk profile, let me tell you one secret today. Okay, as long as you understand how to analyze the risk profile of your client and how to do this asset allocation, then trust me, whether you are working, whether you are on your own, no one can take your space in the wealth advisory space. And even at a rate of 13 to 15% of growth over the next 10 years, we are going to be sitting at 500 lakh crores or 700 lakh crores, depending upon the exact growth in just the mutual fund industry space. So the growth is there. The next decade belongs to us. We are not even getting intimidated by big powers telling that you will be tariffed high, you will be having 50% tariff. The market is still not crashed, right? Market is just going up and down as per its own volatility. But the market did not crash because we are a non-negotiable superpower. We could be still an emerging economy, but the market also rewards the growth of the companies, the growth of the economy, and the market. They are line in line because people trust in it. There is a lot of transparency. Even the political opposition party can raise voice, and everyone has some sense of accountability. SEBI is doing a great job. RBI is doing a great job. You know what is RBI's gold reserves as of May 2025? 870 tons. Please go and watch in Geo Hotstar. There is a series on RBI called RBI Unlocked. And what is SEBI doing? SEBI doing a lot of stuff to create awareness. So the market is here. We have the right elements for the market to be successful. It is up to us in terms of to decide how much we are going to participate and how are we going to participate. It is purely upon us. It's a decision. If at all you are in this line of being in financial planning, especially the personal finance, it is for you to decide how do you want to participate, how do you want to check your fitment, and what do you want. So risk profile of a client, if you can crack that, it depends on the age, it depends on the employment status, it depends upon the different assets they already have, it depends on their existing investments, it depends on the loans which they have, it also depends on their mindset. A lot of people, they don't understand markets. They just think like it's a place where I could lose money, right? So we have to understand their psychological aspect of investing coupled with their aspects, which is we call this as quantitative data and qualitative data. What is the quantitative data? Age, salary, years to retirement, gold size, all of that which is being expressed in numbers, they're called quantitative. And qualitative is what is their approach to risk, how do they do this, all of that is qualitative, right? So you have quantitative data and qualitative data. Asset allocation is a result of your risk profile, right? So how do you risk profile someone? Then you decide whether to put 40% in equities or 50% in equities or 30% in equities, depending upon their age, depending upon their goals, depending upon their time horizon. And we have a plenty of products, almost 40 to 50 mutual fund companies in India, and they're all offering at least 20 to 30 products. So we are talking about 1,500 plus fund products which are available in the mutual funds. So you need to clearly understand how to handhold your client. It's like going into a buffet hall, which is about for 1 lakh square feet, and your client has a limited amount of money. You have to hold their hand and take them to those counters which suits their age, which suits their medical conditions, which suits their lifestyle conditions, whether they are vegetarian, non-vegetarian, whether they are diabetic, non-diabetic. Likewise, when you hold your client's hand and take them to this mutual fund space, you should be able to guide them to the right products, which is asset allocation. Okay, a lot of people confuse between asset allocation and diversification. I have seen this with my own eyes. If you go and ask someone, they will say, I have a beautiful asset allocation. So I ask them, okay, so what are your investments? I have invested into at least 7 mutual funds, sir. Acha, okay. So what are those 7 mutual funds? They're all equity-based mutual funds. Parag Parikh Flexi Cap, Nippon Small Cap, Kotak Mid Cap, Quant Mid Cap, and then like I have Motilal Oswal, I have the Kotak Emerging Equity, but all of these are equity-based mutual funds. Where is your asset allocation? So they confuse. So when you decide that your 100 rupees has to go 50 rupees into equity-based mutual funds, 30 rupees into debt, 20 rupees into your gold, that is asset allocation. Then within that 50 rupees, if you are investing in 5 or 6 mutual funds of equity based, that is called diversification. And this process of splitting 50, 30, 20, that, my friends, is called asset allocation. Even at that fundamental level, people have confusion, which is why I said you don't have to bring anything new to the market. You have to be a Zakir of your own merit. You have to tell things in a manner that you are able to relate to that person. This asset allocation of what I'm saying, is it something new? It's been existing for the last 50 years. It is going to be the same for the next 50 years also. But the way you bring that information out in the most simplistic manner to the client is what that is going to differentiate you, is what that is going to take you to your own Madison Square moment. So please trust yourself, please back yourself. And asset rebalancing, what is asset rebalancing? I have a client who has a goal which is due in like next 15 years. He wants to send his son or daughter to foreign for education, for MBA. It costs around 1.5 CR. So you are planning from today. There is about 15 or 16 years of time from now for the goal. But you don't want to be in that equity-based mutual fund until that last moment because of the volatility. So you invest first for the 13 years into equity-based, and for the last 2 or 3 years, you move that to a liquid fund or a safe fund. So you plan accordingly, both from taxation angle and your investment angle, that your investments are going to be for 13 years only into this fund A, and for the last 3 years, it is going to be in fund B, so that it is safe and there are no negative surprises for the fund. This process is called asset rebalancing. It's a very important tool in your goal planning. A lot of people miss it. So how can you differentiate? How can you bring about that difference? And as I said again, is this something new? No. Was it something which is never existing before? Of course it was existing. What is important? How many people were able to do it? How many people were able to recommend? That is where you will create the differentiation, right? So please trust yourself on that. So when the market is evolving, it has to create new space, right? Even when a city is evolving, then you see the border, you see the even the suburbs, which are like 15, 20 kilometers away from the main city or going through development. Likewise, if my market has to become big, then I have to have new products and my whole play field has to become bigger and bigger and bigger. What started like a bedroom size is today, it's like a soccer field, football field. Tomorrow, it could become like a much larger field. And how can that happen? It has to happen with new products. So you have, for the example I put, the new products that you have is specialized investment fund, where the minimum ticket size of investment is 10 lakh rupees. And even the mutual fund companies, which are traditionally managing your funds like ICICI, Kotak, or HDFC, they can also choose to be in these. And the minimum ticket size is 50 lakh rupees, because you have a lot of customers who cannot enter products like portfolio management services. PMS is minimum 50 lakh rupees, but SIF, they have made the product to be 10 lakh rupees. So you have to study about SIF, you have to get yourself certified, you have to study about PMS, you have to get yourself. But what is the base? You have to have a base around personal finance. Trust me on this, friends. You do not have a better choice than CFP to create that base. Yes, once you have the base, you can keep upskilling, you can keep evolving, but you need a base. You cannot just jump from here to go and study about SIF. Then I will not understand what is risk profile. I will not understand what is asset allocation. I will not understand what is diversification. I will not understand what is derivatives. But if I set my base correct, then I can keep expanding. Just like how the market is expanding, you can also keep expanding as a professional, right? And you also have market growth. As I said, even the simple products, they bring more and more flavors around. Smart Beta Fund. What is a Smart Beta Fund? Sir, we choose 100 companies in the top 250 and track only that. Why 100 companies? Sir, we have certain screeners for it. Okay. So what happens if some company does not fit there anymore? We will take that out and we will bring that 101st company, sir. That is how we track. This is called Smart Beta Fund. There is a smart strategy to move funds or move companies in and out, but there is a beta strategy that you are doing a passive state. So this is a hybrid. This is a combo. It's a smart beta fund. It was there earlier also, but it is gaining momentum, just like how your passive investing is gaining momentum. One of the best ways to invest in the market in the equity space is to invest in Nifty Bs. It just tracks the Nifty 50 index. One of the best ways to invest in the market is Nifty 50 equal weight index, where each company in the Nifty 50 is given 2% weight. You go and check in Google, Nifty 50 equal weight has been traditionally giving more returns than the Nifty 50 index also. Because in Nifty 50, what happens? The top 10 companies hold 60% of weightage, or top 20 companies hold 60 to 70% of weightage. So if the 50th company is doing well, the Nifty 50 is not able to give that much of reward for that because it is at a such low contribution. But Nifty 50 equal weight, Reliance also 2%, and that 50th company also 2%. HDFC also 2%, and the 49th company also 2%. That is called Nifty 50 equal weight. Please go and Google it. Whatever I'm saying is a public information. There is nothing, again, as I said, is there anything new that you're saying? No. But what is the uniqueness that you are bringing is to understand products, to understand the needs. Okay. So as I said that, to create the base for all of this is what you need a CFP. It is for no reason. I'm a certified financial planner myself. You know, we were in a flow. I just did not give an introduction of myself. So as you can see in the screen, my name is Vibhu Venkat. So I'm a CFP myself. I'm very proud about it. And I am one of the rare, odd people that you see because I did CFP when I was 44. Today I'm 46. I was not from any banking or financial market services. I was an investor myself. I was also advising some people in my known circle, only known circle, no unknown people. And then just to expand my knowledge, I started studying CFP. And within 7 months, I finished all the 4 levels. And I'm very proud to say that I was also a student, an alumnus of ICO. So I know what I'm saying. Everything that I say is about ICOFP, about this course, is a first-hand experience. It's not something like I'm just saying because that's what is written in this sheet. No, I have felt this. I have kind of gone through this entire experience myself. This is what you call as first-hand experience, right? So if we are talking about these different aspects of how to bring that uniqueness, how to create that difference, how to create that specialization, how to create that Zakir moment for yourself, you have to have you. It's just not okay. We could be all naturally talented, right? But we should still work hard, right? If you go and ask Virat Kohli, he will say genius is 1% talent and 99% is hard work. Every morning at 6 o'clock, he will go and hit balls in the nets. He will run 10 kilometers a day. It's not, we are only seeing when he rises the bat and he kisses that ring in his chain when he scores a century. But what is happening behind? We could all be naturals. Even I'm a natural when it comes to oratory. I can speak well in a big crowd, but does it mean I don't prepare? I prepare. I have been investing for 8 years. Does it mean I did not have to study CFP? I studied just to expand my knowledge, just to expand my understanding. So likewise, I can very confidently say, because I have a blend of being an investor myself, and I have gone through this content as a student as well, I can very confidently say that this is a gold standard program when it comes to personal finance. It is globally recognized in about 27 different countries, and it is a gold standard program. Why is it gold standard program? Because of the simple fact that it covers all the aspects that I talked about. in terms of understanding risk profile, in terms of understanding the asset allocation. I'm just going to switch on my power. So all of these aspects of asset allocation, asset rebalancing, and all of this you understand through this program. This is why I would say very confidently that it is a gold standard program. So obviously, whether you are a young professional, you are from any field, engineer, MBA, CA, MFD, you are insurance professionals looking to deepen client trust, women re-entering the workforce with a flexible ethical provision. So you need to have that passion. We can all have different passions. Someone can have passion for photography. Someone can have passion for wildlife documentary. Someone can have passion for creating some pottery. That's different. But the reason we are all here together is we have a basic element of passion towards personal finance, right? So if you have that spark in you, then you should let it become big by doing CFP. That's because if you have that passion, if you have that spark for personal finance, there is nothing beyond CFP that you could see, right? So as it is explained in this sheet, whatever is your background, arts, commerce, science, engineering, it doesn't stop you. Because please understand, and I'm sure all of you know this, financial planning or planning about money, any professional who is making money or any individual who is making money needs financial planning. So that is what is the one common theme, so that it covers everyone. So if I have to cover and speak to a doctor, or if I have to talk to a dentist or whatever, I have a student who's a dentist. Okay, she's doing her CFP. So I asked her why CFP. She said, "Sir, it is passion, but it will also create a unique positioning that within my network of dentists, I can help them plan personal finance because they all know how to make money, but they all do not know how to invest that money." So that's a positioning. That's a unique thing. But she cannot just go and barge at them by saying that, please start investing through me. I will take one license of MFD. No, you have to understand that how it works. You have to understand what is it that you are going to talk. How are you going to talk? Why is something that you talk is important? It's a combination of all of that, right? So, as I said, the career options can be in multiple things, starting from tax planning, retirement planning, wealth management, private banking, portfolio management, insurance products, anything that you choose. Anything that has got to do with personal finance has got a recognition in terms of being a CFP. You understand. You go through the basics. You start from a very fundamental essence, and then you just keep building on. So that gives you the confidence, that gives you the uniqueness, that also gives you that why is this personal finance called personal finance? The most common example which I give to everyone is you have your WhatsApp, right? We all have our own profile picture as our own picture, okay? Or something we like, right? 90% of us have our own pictures, and 10% geniuses like Christian will have Christian ka picture, right? So you will have something which is very unique to you, right? What you believe in, right? So your profile picture is different from mine. My profile picture is different from Christian. So personal finance is also that there is no one size fits all. If it is one size fits all, then the AI and robots will replace us, right? What is the value of human? Which is why it is very unique. And all of this that you see here, it is all part of your personal finance. How do you want to position yourself? What is your strength? What are you currently doing? How can you expand from what you're currently doing is a function. This course will make you understand that what can you offer as a unique thing to the market, to the clients? How can you differentiate yourself in the big crowd that we have, right? So these are different career options that you have. And as I said, number of RIA. I was reading an article in LinkedIn before 2 or 3 days, and it's a very interesting article. Trust me, guys, on this. RIAs, which is registered investment advisors, right? Before a year or so, they were around 1,300 or 1,400. Today, they are less than 1,000. See, one thing not growing is stagnant. Okay. But one thing reducing is actually because of the compliance, because of like, and do you think that just because there are only less RIAs, the market is not investing? The investors are not investing. They are investing. For instance, I don't want to become an RIA because I'm not an MBA in finance. I'm not worked in a BFSI. But it does it stop me from giving quality advice as long as the client knows upfront that I'm not an RIA. Okay. But you are just giving as part of your MFD scope. You are an MFD, you have a license. You tell people that, sir, I am a MFD, but I'm also a CFP because it helps me choose the right products for my clients, to understand their risk profile, to understand their asset allocation, to do their goal planning. So likewise, if you become, and look at this crowd, it is 1.78 lakhs. So that's a big crowd, right? So this is going to keep expanding. That is going to create a sense of responsibility. I'm not saying that RA is not going to expand. I'm sure SEBI will work something out to make the compliance easier, and we will have RAs growing also. And you can see that the CFPs is 3215. It is also going to have a steady growth. Almost 25 to 30% CAGR is what they are projecting. Much better than even gold. That was what Mr. Krishan Mishra in his latest conference, which happened in New Delhi, he was talking about what is the expected compounded annual growth of CFP professionals in this country. We are definitely going to have the scope. As you can see, everything in front of you. AUM in mutual fund, SIP book size, how many people investing. Just check your social feed, no? Check influencers, check YouTube, check Insta, check Twitter. How many people are talking about finance? Were they the same number of people talking personal finance before 5 years? No. So why are they talking now? And just imagine after 5 years. So the amount of people that are going to talk are going to become triple, 4 times. Are we in that bus or not? Are we there? Are we there in that space? It's a decision only you and me can take, right? No one else can take that for us. So if you have that spark for personal finance, then jump into this bandwagon without thinking. Get into this bus. Matlab, don't think too much that can I sit? Will I get the corner seat? Will it be windy? Will it be bumpy? Of course, the road will be bumpy. Nothing in life is so easy and simple, right? So you will have challenges. But what is important for you is to get into that bus. And once you are into that bus, you will create your positioning. You will create your seat. You will create your Zakir moment. Then you get into that bus. But if you're thinking too much about getting into that bus, then the bus will leave and you will be left behind. And every day that you are leaving behind is a day that you are making yourself a tough task because you are missing the bus. Don't miss the bus. So as I said, it's the world's topmost certification in personal finance, not without a reason, because you have 4 levels that you read. If you are a regular pathway student, what is there in the first level? Personal finance management, which is about time value of money. What is present value? What is future value? What is returns and stuff like that? What is the second module in the first level itself? IPAM, which is called investment planning and asset management. Then you have something called regulatory, that is in level 1. What is in level 2? Taxation and retirement. What is in level 3? Risk, which is about understanding the different insurance products. Then along with risk, estate. Then you have the final level where they raise the bar. Basis all these concepts that you studied in the first 3 levels, you get to a level 4, which you write an exam and you also submit a capstone project. There you have to build a model project for a imaginary client. They will give you the case study. They will give you the details with which you have to build it. So it's a very comprehensive program. Trust me, I'm a CFP myself. I know what I'm saying. So if any of you is having a single percentage doubt that is this a right program for personal finance, please don't have any doubts. I can very convincingly say that you're going to gain that wisdom, you're going to gain that perspective, and you're going to gain that additional dimension. Why is Messi a great player? Lionel Messi. What do you think? Like this opposition team, before they play a match, They always will have strategies about how to tackle Messi, right? They will say, okay, keep always two men around him. Keep always make sure that he does not run much. Make sure that his passes are obstructed. But why does he still score? Because he creates that small, beautiful spaces in that crowd also. So how are you going to create that space? How are you going to create that moment? How are you going to become your own Messi? That is, you need the certificate. You need that upskilling. You might have the talent, but you have to harness that talent. You have to sharpen it. You have to get better. You have to evolve. Even today, I read I'm not a great guy or something, but what I'm saying, even today, when I say is because after being in the investing for the last 10 years, I read ET and Money Control at least 1 hour a day just to get perspectives, just to get the updates, just to get what is happening on repo rate from RBI, what is happening on tariff, what is happening on Russia versus Ukraine, what is happening on the Alaska meeting between Putin and Trump, what is the geopolitical situation, how is the market reacting, why did HDFC Bank drop in market price yesterday, what is happening in the oil and gas sector, what is happening to companies like India Energy Exchange. You have to read. You have to be updated. You have to be on constant motion, coupled with the academic flavor of certificate. You have to have both. You have to have that balance, that perfect balance of the practical and the academic. That is called a perfect wedding. Once you have the perfect wedding, is when you become a evolved profession, and you keep evolving. There is nothing stopping. The day you stop learning is the day you stop living. So please don't stop living. We have to live. So please do not stop learning. So to join the program, as I said, you have to be just a college entry student first year. Also, if you're in college, it's no problem. And whether you are from BCom, liberal arts, you are an engineer, you are anyone BSc mathematics, whatever that you are, it doesn't make a difference, sir. But why? How will I understand? You will understand. You know why? Because this is about money. This is not Excel. This is not some theory topics. This is not something where you read that a plus b the whole square is a square plus b square plus 2ab. Without knowing why are you reading this, you are not going to read even a single concept in this program, which you will not understand how and where to apply that. So you will have that interest. And it's about money. We all love money. We might say that money is not important, all that, but money is a great vehicle to achieve that wellness, to achieve that satisfaction, to make people around us also happy, and to have that sense of satisfaction, right? Money is important. You don't have to become too deep into that, but it is important. And it is a great tool to measure your success also. And once you finish, to get the CFP mark, because if you're a student, sir, will I get this CFP certificate straight away? You just have to do an internship under a CFP for 1 year. Okay. And or you should have been working in the BFSI for 3 years to get the certificate. Sir, why this condition? Because please, my dear friends, please understand with the CFP badge, you take a responsibility to the marketplace. And you are talking about advising people on money. It's not some relationship goals that you're talking about here. We are talking about money. So you have to be responsible. You have to have that sense of balance. You have to have that sense of responsibility. You should earn the badge. It's a very prestigious badge. It's like a gold-plated CFP badge. When you wear it or when you get it or when you hold it in your hand, you have that sense of pride. You have to feel that. Why do people like you have this big World Cups, Wimbledons? Why do people kiss the trophy? That trophy can be kissed even if they do not win it, right? But they can just go and ask a permission and say that, sir, let me kiss this once. Like big players, like Virat Kohli goes and asks any IPL trophy. He had not won that in the last 17 or 18 years. He could have gone to any team or opposition team, or even before the prize distribution ceremony, he could have just gone and kissed that IPL trophy. Why he did not kiss it? Because he did not earn it. He did not win it, right? So like that, and he had very emotional moments when he won that eventually. So like that, to get the CFP mark, you are a brand ambassador. You're going to go into the market. You should be responsible enough, which is why they have this condition that after passing, you have to have an internship or a minimum 3 years of work experience in BFS, which is banking, financial services, and insurance sector. All right. So you have that to get the CFP mark, but to enter and clear all the levels, you don't need that. And your score will be valid for around 5 years, so that before that you can get either of the two to get your CFP mark to yourself, right? So as I said, I already talked about this, like level 1, what does it have? Level 2, what does it have? Level 3, what does it have? And level 4 is the final in terms of the summing up of everything. If you see, every single component which you see in this is important from personal finance point of view. Everyone will have our unique needs, but if you sum them all, it will sum up to this slide. I can be pretty confident in what I'm saying. Here, I'm not exaggerating. It's not a sales talk, because I have been through this as a student, as an investor, as also a mentor who's teaching CFP to many candidates, right? I have even Mandar Kulkarni is my mentee. He has finished CFP, but he's still taking interest to get and come to this session and see if he can learn anything new, right? So I'm very proud that he even gave a talk in his college a couple of days back about some important concepts like loan planning and stuff like that. So you learn. He's a youngster. He could say that, okay, I've already finished. He has cleared the CFP exam. He submitted the project. I'm sure he will clear that also. He'll be a CFP in the next month when the results come, but he still come here to learn. Okay. And this, my friends, is that human connection which we have as ICO. So you will see a lot of things in terms of why ICOFP, but one single standout factor is the human connection. Krishan is not going to let go of you at any stage during your certification. He will call me. He will say, sir, my student, I enrolled him before 4 months. He is having this challenge. Why don't you address it? He will talk for the student. I will tell Krishan, yaar, matlab, thoda practical baat. No, sir. We have to do something. Let's discuss what can be done. So all through the journey, whether from the sales team or the faculty or the assistants from a human angle, it's the great, unique differentiating factor that we bring as ICO. And obviously, we are the first in terms of bringing this program to India. And as I said, it's very easy for me to say this because I don't have to read this from this chart. I can even close my eyes and say, because I've been a student, I've experienced, I'm saying what I have felt. I'm not going to say anything different. I was a student. Today, I'm a mentor. I know how and well we engage with the students, how far we go at distance. We have exam WhatsApp groups. Before your exam, we form the WhatsApp groups. Even in the night at 12 o'clock, there are messages going around in terms of how to solve this question, what is the answer for this question. You will have someone or other answering. 60-70% of the time I will answer. But you have someone or the other, some student, someone or some others. And I love why B, it's not something special. I just love solving numericals. I just love solving those problems. So we are the first and the largest in terms of the education provider. As I said, we have the faculties in terms of having the industry experience, having mentored students for multiple years, understanding how the exam pattern works. And for modules like taxation, we have chartered accountants. It's a very strict thing that we have as a quality service. I can teach taxation also, but I don't. Anyone else inside internally can also, but we don't. It is not that this is a CA level, but still we insist on that quality that any taxation faculty who comes to teach our students has to be a chartered accountant. It is non-negotiable. So we have that level of a quality aspect in terms of every single component of the course, right? So we have very widely experienced, industry connected, and going and speaking in guest lectures in multiple places, being with the industry, being with practical side of the life, and also helping a lot of students from the academic sense. As I said, should be a perfect wedding, right? Highest number of CFP certificates and passing rate, because we have a great passing rate, because as I said, we have having that understanding of how that examination framework works, right? So we have won a lot of awards in terms of India's best finance college 2019 by ET now, second best finance courses in country 2007, 2009, 17, 11. So we have been evolving. Even last year when FPSB, which is Financial Planning Standards Board, when they had their event in Gift City in Gujarat, our Dean Madhu Sinha was awarded the best educator in the country. So, awards, it keeps coming if you keep doing your fundamentals right. So you have to trust that and do it. And we are also backed by Bajaj Capital Group. It's a very strong brand in the wealth management space in excess of so many multiple decades, 5-6 decades they have been there in the market, handling multiple thousands of crores of AUM, having offices across the country. We are a 100% subsidiary of Bajaj Capital. So we are backed by a solid group. We are backed by, we have the intent, we have the capacity, and we have the infrastructure. I always tell people that think 2 or 3 times before choosing to do CFP or not. Maybe you are in confusion, this and that, speak to people and stuff like that. But the moment you think and convinced that you are going to do CFP, don't even think for 1 second, just call Krishan and enroll for the program. You can think to do that or not in CFP, in terms of doing CFP or not, but the moment you choose to do CFP, just call Krishan and enroll. Because there is nothing looking beyond in terms of what we could offer. As a continuation of what I said in terms of the faculties that we bring to the table, these are the few faculties with very wide industry experience. And as I said, Madhu Sinha ma'am is our dean. She was awarded, as I said, as being the educator of the year in the last year's FPSB event. And all of these faculties that we have, they could be guest faculties, they could be in-house faculties, but we all come with the same level of passion, right? Even my photograph is here. So we all come with the same level of passion in terms of what we teach. Because in the profession of teaching, it is not what you know. It is about how well you are able to tell the student, how well you are able to address the needs of your aspirants. That defines your success. That defines how good you are. So the focus is never on ourselves. The focus is always on you. The focus is always on the person who is sitting in that Zoom call, who has come here to learn, who has trusted us to learn. So the focus is always on you guys. So you will have virtual live classes, e-learning classes, weekdays, weekends, and you have extensive LMS facilities where you can log in, check your recording classes. Every classes that you do has recordings. And we have the concept book, assignments, workbooks, practice tests, mock tests, quizzes, everything that is needed. We also have time to time industry connect where we get industry professionals come and talk about the scope, talk about how to position your career and stuff like that, right? So this is the board fee. Coming to the commercials of it, this is the board fee that you will pay with the board directly, which is the Financial Planning Standard Board. It's not a transaction. It's not a pricing that is decided by us. It's a pricing decided by the board, which goes through constant changes as and when they feel it right. So the FPSB registration is around 18K, ebooks is around 32,500, then exam fee, financial plan assessment fee, and specialist certification fee. So this has the list of everything that you will pay from the start till the end, right? So as I said, you will be paying this to the board directly, and this is for regular pathway. What is the regular pathway? People like me who are not from this industry, who has to write all the 4 levels, that is called regular pathway. And then you also have the challenge pathway, where if you are any of these professional certification holders like a CFA or a CPA or CA, or if you are an MBA finance, and if you have a work experience in BFSI, then you are eligible to get into the fast track. Fast track is nothing but you will not write the first 3 levels. You will straight away go to the 4th level, write the exam, submit the project, get it cleared within 6 months, then you are a CFA. Don't worry about your soft check in terms of whether you are eligible for the fast track or not. Krishan will drop his email ID in the chat box. You guys can send your latest CV. he will be always happy to help you to make you understand if you are eligible for the fast track or not, right? So please don't worry about your eligibility criteria. He will help you understand that, right? So this is the board fee again. Again, this is a fee that you will pay to the board. This is not something you will pay to us. For the fast track validation fee is the document checking, like in terms of the doc fee, but he can help you know that he will do a soft check with the board, and then you will do a hard check, which is official once you are on board and stuff like that. But at the soft check level, you will be able to understand whether you can apply for it or not, because the conditions are very clear. Then, because initially we are going to check with what you tell us in your CV. Then you are going to be coming up with a documentational proof. That is when this 5,000 rupees of doc verification stage is there. Then you have the registration and FPA assessment fee, exam fee, and the certification. Again, this is all the fee that you will pay to the board, not to us. We are the education provider. Okay, so this is the fee which we charge as ICOFP for the different things in terms of virtual learning. Is you will have classes in Zoom, like what we have as a webinar session now. You will have live classes where the faculty will come and teach for 2 hours or 3 hours, depending upon the module, depending upon the needs. Okay? And you can ask your live doubts during the sessions and stuff like that. There will be a screen sharing. The PPT will be presented. The worksheet or the Excel sheet will be presented. All of it just like how it is happening now, seamless. Live classes, they are virtual learning. All of it happens in Zoom. You will get a Zoom ID, password, whatever to log in, and you will also have web login credentials, etc. E-learning is you will get the pre-recorded classes. Okay, you will not be in live classes, but you will get the pre-recorded classes, which you will see. People who feel that they don't have a fixed schedule, they're not very sure that they can align at a specific time or not. They say that we have time only beyond 11 o'clock in the night, we will see. So you cannot have live classes at 11 o'clock, right? So those people can choose e-learning as well. And for the fast track is 45,000, where you will be taken care of giving you the introduction to the initial 3 modules and then helping you on the project as well. So this is the course fee for what you will pay to us, and you don't have to pay this upfront. If you pay this 10,000, you can get yourself onboarded, and then you get a loan-free option in terms of financing that program. And as again, you can speak to our counselors, Krishan, who will be able to happily help you with the details of how this works. So this is the offers for today in terms of save on the course fee and save on the coupon. We have some discount coupons for 50% in terms of, because at every exam registration, you will have to buy the FPSB's content compulsorily. So we provide a 50% discount coupon on that. There, these coupons are offered to the people who are studying through us. You also get some practical NISM videos and stuffs, which are in terms of a value addition, in terms of quotient, but from a straight cash money aspect of discount, you will have these two at the top, and from a knowledge aspect is what you have in the bottom. All right. So this flat 15% discount in the pricing on what it was showed here, and the coupon codes of 50% or whatever is on the educational content purchase. You will get a code when you are registering for exam. Our team will help you with the code with which you will get it. So this is offer for today. So as I said, if you want to take this offer for today, it's just that you don't have to pay the entire course fee or anything. You just have to pay that booking fee. And I'm sure Krishan and his team will be able to offer you an entire end-to-end assistance on that stuff. As I said, pay EMIs. And please talk to us on these numbers for further clarity on eligibility or any other stuffs that you would like to know from your perspective. Right?
Vibhu sir, thank you so much for the lovely presentation, sir. There's a question in the chat box from Mr. Sagar. And we have certain questions in the chat box. Sagar is asking, just a second. After completing CFP, do most people get sales job or more advisory roles?
It is less of sales job and more of advisory and product related roles, Sagar, because even if you see the existing relationship managers in the banks, they choose to do CFP that they can move away from target or revenue based roles and more into advisory and product based roles, so that they don't compromise on their earning capacity, they don't compromise on the growth potential, but they also don't have that constant churning of pressure in terms of revenue, building the book size and stuff like that. Okay.
One
Sir,
more question. Yeah, tell.
हाय सर, सागर दिस साइड।
Yes, Sagar.
सर, मैंने काफी सारे सीएफपी से पूछा, मतलब रिच आउट किया थ्रू लिंक्डइन, कोल्ड मैसेज, जो करंटली वर्किंग है, मतलब किसी लेवल पे। तो उसमें से काफी लोगों में से एक दो लोगों ने बताया कि रिगार्डिंग कि बहुत सारा सेल्स रोल भी मिलते हैं, एज ए कोल्ड कॉलिंग इनिशियल डे में भी करवाते हैं कि रीच आउट करो पीपल को, उसे रीच आउट फंड बेचो।
बट ये डिपेंड करता है ना कि मतलब आपकी स्थिति क्या है, आपकी बैकग्राउंड क्या है, आपकी करंट एक्सपीरियंस क्या है, कि मतलब आप उस चीज से, मतलब मैं भी कई सीएफपीस को जानता हूँ जो ये जो चीज आप कह रहे हैं वो नहीं कर रहे हैं। तो मतलब हम इस चीज को जनरलाइज नहीं कर सकते हैं ना कि मतलब आपका एग्जिस्टिंग प्रोफाइल में क्या है, मतलब वो मैं इतना श्योर हूँ कि मतलब बैंक जैसे एचडीएफसी बैंक है, उसमें मैं खुद पीबीजी का कस्टमर हूँ, प्राइवेट बैंकिंग ग्रुप। उसमें यदि आपको इन्वेस्टमेंट काउंसलर बनना है, आपके लिए सीएफपी मैंडेटरी है। अभी रिसेंटली आपने पढ़ा होगा, स्टेट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया ने अपने वेल्थ टीम में जितने भी लोग हैं उनको सीएफपी कराने की एक मैंडेट, मतलब वो फैसला किया है। तो ये डिपेंड करता है कि मतलब आपकी एग्जिस्टिंग प्रोफाइल क्या है, तो फिर मतलब वो वेल्थ प्रोफेशनल्स जो एडवाइजरी और प्रोडक्ट रिलेटेड इसमें मतलब वो सीएफपी की जो एंगल से उस चीज को कितने हद तक वो एक्सट्रैक्ट कर पा रहा है वैल्यू, वो है। कोल्ड कॉलिंग तो मतलब आप कुछ नहीं बोलोगे तो कोल्ड कॉलिंग क्या, हॉट कॉलिंग भी आपको करने के लिए कहेंगे लोग, बट आपकी प्रोफाइल आपको सपोर्ट करनी चाहिए कि उस चीज को ना करके मतलब आप अपने वो जो सीएफपी के अनुसार, लाइक मतलब जो चीज आप कर सकते हो, जो चीज के लिए आप क्वालिफाइड हो, वो करने के लिए आप अपने आप को कैसे पोजीशन कर रहे हैं, तो फिर ये आपके ऊपर है ना ये बात। ऐसा नहीं कि मतलब वो सारे के सारे सीएफपी जो है वो कोल्ड कॉलिंग कर रहे हैं इस देश में।
हाँ, वो ऑब्वियस सी बात है, सारे तो नहीं कर रहे हैं। तो वही फिर मेरा मन में डाउट था कि सर, जब कॉल्ड कॉलिंग ही करना है, जब म्यूचुअल फंड सेल ही करना है, तो फिर सीआईपी क्यों करें? तो डायरेक्ट डायरेक्ट भी इनरोल करके फिर सेलिंग करो। उसमें मेरी बाय एजुकेशन जो मैं सीएफपी से सीखा हूँ, उसका यूटिलाइज कहाँ हुआ, यदि मेरे को
वही
कॉल
मैं
या
कह रहा हूँ
सेल
ना।
करवाना है?
नहीं वो नहीं, वो तो सबके लिए, वो अपने आप को आप कैसे पोजीशन करते हो उसके बेसिस पे।
अच्छा, ठीक।
So there's one
Yeah,
more
Avinash, I
question from
think yes,
Madhusudan sir.
you can check this with, but I don't know if you have a post graduation, so you can kind of send your CV to Krishan and he will be able to help you with that. You can go for wealth advisory space, you can go for product related in the BFSA sector. Can this be considered? But Prerna, you need to also have that post graduation. With regards to your individual eligibility criteria, please, I would recommend you to get in touch with Krishan. He will be able to help you in terms of whether it is possible or not.
So there's one question from Mr. Madhusudana B, that I have doubt about level 4, how ICFP is going to support for non-finance background profession in the course.
Of course, like I was also a non-finance professional in the course. So if you have done your regular pathway, finished the 3 levels and come to the 4th level, A, you will know yourself a certain amount of knowledge. B, we will be hand-holding, as I said, like we are not going to be going away. So whether it is level 1 or level 2 or level 3 or level 4, the intensity or the interface that we have is the same. And I take almost 10 or 12 classes for level 4 students. 20th of August, almost 35 or 40 people wrote the exam. Out of that, 20 people were from regular pathway, 20 people were from fast track pathway. So the intervention and the support does not stop until you finish your exam, right? Don't worry about it. Don't think like I am from non-finance background or not. From the level 1, If you're a non-finance background or finance background, it's not going to make a difference. As long as you have the interest and keenness and consistency with you, you will not have a struggle.
So one more question from Mr. Avinash Gore, that he's from science background, but from last 6 years he's been working in the
No,
investment
but then he's
banking.
asking about that qualification in fast track. So you will have to check that with him because he doesn't seem to have a MBA finance or so.
No, I'm
you
not
will have
asking for the this
Huh?
first track. I'm asking about regular path. After completing regular path, for getting final certification, does my
6 years experience in investment
work
banking domain as a
experience
senior
be
portfolio will be counted in the CFP for obtaining a final membership, sir?
Yes, I think yes.
Yes,
That's
sir.
not a problem.
Yeah.
That's not a problem. I thought you were asking about your qualification for fast track there without that MBA finance, but if you have this work for the 3-year wala thing to get certified, there is no challenge. I myself got certified like that.
So Prerna this side.
Yeah, Prerna.
So my query was also same. So I have an experience of 14 years into banking field. So post I take the regular path for the final certification where it is mentioned that minimum we need to have 3 years of experience or 1 year of internship. So
And a 3-year experience आपका count हो जाएगा ना Prerna. You will not have a challenge. You will get your certificate.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, Vibhu sir, this is Madhu. Okay. Before this question, one question was discussed, right? I'm talking about the 4th level. I'm not a finance background guy. I'm a mechanical engineer guy. In the 4th phase, right? I wanted to know more details about the level 4 course. Okay. So assume that I completed 3. After completing level 4 only, I'm going to get certified, right?
Yes.
So you said 1 year of apprenticeship, something it is mentioned in this slide that I wanted to make it very clear.
Yeah, of course, you. The thing is, sir, how old are you, sir?
I'm 42.
Okay. So once you finish all the 4 levels, either you have to intern under a CFP for 1 year, okay, or you should, if you don't have the BFSI experience for 3 years, like how I just told Prerna or Avinash, is that like if you have the 3-year prior working experience before even you complete this at some point during your career, then you don't have to do the internship. But otherwise, you will have to do the internship and you can also position yourself you can tell the board that this is what you have been doing. This is what is your overall work experience. And if you're 40 plus, it's a subjective thing. Sometimes they might approve. Sometimes they might say, no, you have to do the internship. So you could assume that you have to do the internship, but then if you get approved, then it is a bonus. It is not, the opposite is always difficult because I told like I'm 45 when I applied for it. I'm an engineer. I've never worked in BFSI, but I said I've been investing myself, helping people and stuffs like that. And they approved my certification. So it is not, but we cannot commit on that because it's not our decision. It's the decision of the board. Okay.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
So we can guide you in terms of how to present your case in the most correct manner or most appealing manner so that you have a high probability of getting that certification. This is the challenge only if you have not worked in BFSI. And see, as I said, this is more about responsible advisory in the market, right? So if you're 40 plus already, you are matured enough and you are responsible enough to advise people. So that board can take a subjective stance in terms of what you have been doing and why are you seeking the certification. So that's a very subjective thing. But as I said, it's not a guaranteed thing from our end because we don't decide this. The board decides it. We can help you present yourself in the most appealing manner.
Okay, suppose if board doesn't approve the certification,
then you have to do internship, sir.
Yeah, for that, is there any kind of support from the institution?
Christian, do we support that internship support in terms of any specific support depending upon the city each person lives, or how does that work?
For 1 year internship?
Yes.
Yeah, we will support. Once he clears the examination, then we will assist him for the same, sir.
Yeah. And where are you from, sir? You are from Kerala?
No, I'm from Chennai.
Okay.
Chennai,
yeah.
In the Nammur, Seri, okay. So they will assist you with, I mean, when they say they, in collaboration with whatever opportunities that they could see, but it might not be a paid thing or whatever. So, you know, because it's an internship, so we cannot commit on the financials or anything, but definitely, I think they could help you in terms of when they say they, since I am also sitting in Chennai, the team in Delhi, I said, they could help you in terms of the internship reach out or internship, that mobilizing that internship.
Yeah, okay then.
Sir, there is one more question from Mr. Avinash, that could you please provide some highlights on the what will be the nature of case study and project in the final stage? Will it be guided or we have to complete on our own?
No, you will be guided for sure. You will be given a case study where you are being asked to plan the education and the marriage of the children of a couple. Usually they give a couple, like, and then they say that plan for their retirement, plan for their vacation, plan for their children's education. So you have to create an Excel sheet with all of those details. And then you have to also submit a Word document converted to PDF where you're writing executive summary and all that. But you will be handheld in terms of the project also. It's like an open case study, right? Like it's like an open book test. They will give you a case study and you have 1 month to submit that. So you can get it validated, verified, add perspectives, inputs. So all of that guidance will be there.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Santosh here. I just want to know about the career opportunities after CFP and other than India, sir. Just planning to move for other countries like Australia. Is there is how about the opportunities?
Recently they signed a MOU with the Australian some entity. But
Okay.
after you finish CFP here also, if you are going there, you might have to do something which is local to there. You are a
Okay.
CFP is okay, is good, is recognized, but you still have to read something about their local pension plans, local taxation rules, which is something related to their domestic thing.
Okay.
So you will have to finish that also before you start advising to people.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. And I just want to ask another question. Is there is any job roles after CAP without client interaction, like planning the beyond the back office work or operation things, like without meeting the clients? Because I'm just working in a B2B company for the past 3 years. I've just been not handling clients. If there is any possibility of not handling clients by just giving my advisory from the back end or something like that to the
You will be a
salesperson?
para planner where
Yeah.
you will be analyzing the client's data or whatever, and you will be providing your inputs to the client facing person.
Okay. That
This
would
is
be.
what you're asking. So I have a student of mine who is now in Guwahati. She does the same, where she's a paraplanner kind of a role where she works in the backend in terms of analyzing the client's information data and provides that input to the RM, who is the relationship manager, who will face the client. But Santosh, sometime in life you have to shed your fears, man, and go to the front. Unless you go to the front, you will not make more money, no.
Done. I'll be facing the HNI clients, sir, for my advisors, mutual fund advisors.
Okay.
I just asked the question that is there is any possibilities or is there is job roles?
Of course, from a para planner level, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Great, sir. Great. Thank you.
All right. So, Krishan, I think
Yes,
we can
sir.
have a wrap on that, right? So,
Yes,
thank
sir.
you all again for a lovely attention. And what is the total fee, including everything? Please call Krishan, sir. He will tell you the total fee from every aspect, including the board and us.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay.
Vibhu, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.